Welcome back to part 2 of Mega Man X4, where, let's see, we took care of a couple of Mavericks last time, and, let's see, this time we're going to be going after Split Mushroom. I decided to go after Split Mushroom pretty early this time around because, well, I mean, I went after him third last time too, but I went after him because he has probably the most useful ability for Zero. And see, unfortunately, he also boasts one of the toughest boss fights in the entire game. And I honestly tried in practice runs to beat this guy first, but I couldn't. And, you know, you'll see why once you see what his pattern is. And this guy is really tough with that Web Spider's weapon, but you know, I'll get more into that. And then this is just Web Spider's weapon in action. All you do is just press the triangle button or whatever you set for the learned move. Let's see, the mini-boss here is pretty much the same deal, where he eventually breaks one of the platforms, and then you just have to kill him in time. You know, same old thing. Web Spider's weapon, the Rajingeki, actually does a lot of damage to him, so you do want to use that. And while we're on the topic, hope everybody had a very good New Year, and hope everyone's having a very good 2014. Yeah, I mean, my New Year wasn't really all that exciting, but, you know, it's always still fun. But let's get into Area 2. And Area 2 really isn't all that different. I mean, you have the ascending staircase, which is honestly a really cool effect, which is something they would actually reuse in X5. Let's see, you'll see that one soon enough, I hope. I'm not really sure what my schedule is going to be like when it comes to recording. But I mean, I'm in the middle of uploading Magical Quest. I already finished recording all the footage. I just had to, you know, put it all together. So let's see, here I'm just going to try and get to the heart tank. And naturally, the easier way to do this is just to wait until you get the ability from Split Mushroom, but I'm going to try and do this now because I am stubborn. And I'm not doing a very good job. There we are. So now that we're up to a Split Mushroom, let's just see what his boss fight's going to be a lot different than with X. And the main reason is because Web Spider's weapon, or the ability you get from Web Spider, is a ground-based weapon. So it's actually a lot harder to hit him. And let's see, what you have to do is, the easy way to do this is to kill those clones with Rajingeki. But see, I'm just showing off like what he does. And see, the biggest problem I had with this boss fight in the practice runs was because the more you hit him, the faster he gets, because, you know, that's just common video game logic. And then he also does a ton of damage when he ends up running into you, which is really the biggest problem I had with this whole thing. So that's just what Web Spider's weapon does to him. But yeah, the easy way to do this is just wait until like 3 of those clones form, and then just kill him when, or just hit him with Web Spider's ability when he drops down. Oh, with all that said, that is finally the end of Split Mushroom. So let's just go ahead and collect, in my opinion, the best ability in the game. They would later reuse this in X5 and X6. But I mean, I think X5 actually does it the best. So this is Kuenbu, which is actually going to be the double jump. And the biggest thing with the double jump is that you cannot be dash jumping. You can only use it on regular jumps. So there is an air dash that's going to be coming around later on, but we will not see that for a while. Instead, we are going to be going into the volcano and dealing with that traitor Magma Dragoon. And see, Magma Dragoon's also a very difficult boss fight. But I mean, the good news is the first time around you can fight him with the ride armor, which is what I do. Let's see, his stage is still very short and goes by really quickly. And not just because I'm skipping some parts, but it's just a double jump in action. The best thing about the double jump is that this spinning attack or you can get the spinning attack too, which is really useful for taking out a lot of flying enemies. But then again, the ability we get from Magma Dragoon is also very useful for that too. And that's just the easy way to get to the heart tank. And with the right distance, you can kill this right armor with Raging Decay. And yeah, I kinda didn't have much of a choice there. So let's just get to fighting Magma Dragoon. See, the dialogue's a little bit different, but really it's not or it's the same idea. It's like, hey, you betrayed us, now fight me. Or something like that. But let's see, with Magma Dragoon, it's the easy way to do it is to rush in. And then, yeah, usually the way I end up doing this is to try and get behind him and then just do the damage that way. And let's see, what else did I have trouble with here? I think it was, yeah, it might have been like Magma Dragoon's moves, especially the Shoryuken, that is gonna give you some fits. And here I'm just trying to beat him or just rush in and try and beat him that way. The good news is I did get most of his health down with the right armor. So at least that made it a lot easier. And then here's just the usual dialogue. This was actually the first time you actually hear dialogue after killing one of the Mavericks. I mean, I'm not talking about the after the 8 bosses, but I meant the regular Mavericks. So yeah, the spoiler alert is you already know this is Sigma, but you know, that's just the way this game goes. And now we learn U-Engine, which makes an appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it's a upward attack, which is really useful actually. And then after you beat 4 Mavericks, just like X, you get a intermission with the Colonel. But it's going to be a lot different this time with Zero than with X.
Colonel! What? I'm disappointed in you, Colonel! Ah!
What do you think you're doing?
It's not too late. Stop the coup now!
Never.
If that's your decision, prepare yourself!
Stop, please! Brother, please! Don't you remember? Zero saved my life.
Oh. Very well then. I'll spare your life for now. But next time, there'll be no mercy.
Zero, please, don't fight with my brother. If you do, I'm afraid that one of you may end up...
Someone must stop Repliforce!
Zero!
So after that little intermission, you get to choose the bosses again, but right now I'm going back to a Web Spider stage to get the heart tank that you need Magma Dragoon's ability in order to get. Let's see, just clearing out these guys. And see, yeah, this is where it is. It's, you know, the same location, but just showing that off. So now with 4 Mavericks down, we are going to take on Frost Walrus next. And see, with Frost Walrus' stage is pretty much the same thing, but it's actually a lot easier to... Well, I mean, both X and Zero had no problem clearing out all the obstacles, but at the same time, I find this stage a little bit more fun with Zero than with X. Let's see, right here I'm just trying to find the heart tank. I mean, the heart tank's really easy to get to, especially when you have this ability. So just one short little backtrack later, we are going to fill up on Let's see, what's the rest of the sub-tanks? I think I only have one at this point, but at the same time, it is pretty easy to find power-ups for that stuff. There, I'm just trying to get the double jump right. And yeah, the double jump is a little bit tricky, but at the same time, once you're used to it, it is pretty easy. And see, I do like fighting this mini-boss as Zero, because what Zero offers to the table is that he can get a lot more damage done in a much shorter time. I mean, that's assuming, of course, you don't have the Plasma Buster with X. Just because I found X to be pretty game-breaking in this game. But I think that's one of the things that makes X's playthrough so much easier than Zero's, is that X just seems to have like better power-ups to deal with certain situations. And that's just me getting the weapon tank. The weapon tank isn't really all that useful with Zero. It's more or less just for refilling your Giga attack, which, as I've said before, in part 1 really isn't all that useful. Let's see, with all that said, we are up to Frost Walrus now. And of course, Frost Walrus is the same arrogant, cocky self that he is, as in X's playthrough. But yeah, getting back to before, I just found X's power-ups to be like more adaptable to the stuff you get into in this game compared to Zero's. I mean, Zero's abilities are actually really useful. But I mean, I found X's power-ups, especially his Plasma Buster and his Dr. Light upgrades. I mean, especially those, like, those are a lot easier to use in this game compared to Zero's abilities. I mean, Zero does take some getting used to, as I've said before, but ultimately playing with Zero is actually more fun in my opinion. Let's see, one thing I forgot to mention with the spinning attack is that the easy way to get more damage is to jump and then do your attack and then turn around as you're slashing the enemy. That way you get more damage done. But yeah, with that we made some pretty quick work of Frost Walrus. So that is the end of 5 Mavericks. Now we get Frost Walrus's ability, which is a downward strike. It's a downward stab with an icicle, which is a pretty useful attack in my opinion. See you in part 3.